Travel, music, pets, men, women, life in progress. Welcome to Let's Talk. Welcome to episode 7 of Let's Talk. Jamie here, your host. It is 2:23 in the States, 5:23 in the Philippines, and 11:23 in France. I am mentioning this because our guests are from all over the world. I'm here in the States right now. We have one guest in the Philippines, another in France, and I'm so grateful that they said yes to today. Now, we have a controversial topic to explore. I have often heard this term, and although it isn't often said to my face, I know some people think it. Some people call me or describe me as an Afamista because I am with a British guy. I've been with him for 7 years. The friends I have on the podcast today also have the same situation. In fact, they have been married to their white guys for a number of years, and we'll get to know more about their story in a bit. But what is an Afamista, and is it offensive to be called an Afamista? Are we really Afamistas? What are the pros and cons? That is what we're going to talk about on this podcast with the help of two of my dearest and closest friends, Alex and Kat. So without further ado, hi, Kat. Hi, Alex. Kat in France, how are you doing?
Hi, Jamie. I'm fine. Bonjour.
I miss you. Bonjour. Oh, we
Thank
have
you.
a French lesson for today as well. Bonjour. Thank you so much for joining us all the way from France, Kat. I appreciate you. Alex in the Philippines, I miss you. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good as well. I miss you. I miss hanging out with you guys, but we are doing that right now from different countries. So cheers, girls.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay. So, first things first, I've already kind of mentioned it in the introduction. I said that all of us are in relationships with white guys. And that comes with the stigma of being an Afamista in the Philippines. So, let's talk about your relationships first. So, yes, for me, I've been with my partner for the last 7 years. And yeah, that's it. What about you, Alex? Talk about your relationship with, I don't know if I can say his name, but with your husband. How long have you been together? And just tell us about the two of you.
We've been together for 13 years. I even had to count that
Wow.
one now.
Wow.
I
Well
was like, wait,
done.
how many now?
Good
So
job,
yeah, 13
guys.
years.
Mm.
So,
Married for how long?
um, almost 9 years.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Okay, wow. That's a
Mm,
long time.
yep.
Amazing. Okay. What about you, Kat? And my
Um,
frenemy, your husband?
yeah. Benjamin. We've been together for almost 8 years, married for a year and
Mhm.
a half. 8 years and married for a year and a half. And what else? I met him during one of my travels. We met in Myanmar. So we were on the same flight. Tapos, we were
Wow.
looking for, actually, we were on the same flight. He was
Okay.
traveling with his friend, and I was
Mhm.
traveling with my sister, Tanya, and another friend.
Mhm.
So there, they were looking for a hotel, and they didn't speak very good English, so they needed our help. And the
Mhm.
rest is history. You know, we
I
traveled together.
remember you met during that trip with Tanya, yes, but I didn't know you both were on the same flight and it really
Yes, we were on the
started
same
from
flight.
the
Yeah.
beginning of that Myanmar trip. Wow. Now, let's talk about yes, that how you met and was it love at first sight? I know the story, but let's share that with our viewers or
Yeah.
listeners rather out there. What was it like when you met him? Were you attracted to him? How did the feelings evolve? Because you said the rest is history after that Myanmar trip.
Well, it wasn't really love at first sight. Like I found him cute. Like I'm looking for a, can I say a boylet.
Yeah, I love it.
I
Okay.
was looking for a
You were
summer
really looking
fling.
for a boylet
Yeah. Like okay, I'm
and
on a
he was a
holiday.
candidate.
Yeah, he was a candidate because in Myanmar there weren't a lot of travelers, so there were only
Hmm.
in our group there were only 10. So, medyo limited options. So, sabi ko,
Yeah.
ay, pwede na siya. Medyo nag-grow siya sa heart ko. Carry na. So,
Oo. Pero
after that,
paano yon
syempre,
si Tanya, hindi niya type kasi parang dibs on him ka na?
my boyfriend, she was with her
Ah, she was already
boyfriend.
with her husband. Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
with her
Sorry,
husband.
Marshall. Anyway, and then
So, yun. Tapos, actually, may code name kami. Then we started calling him Bobby. Hi, Bobby!
why
Every time we
Babby?
see
Yeah,
him, hi,
why Bobby?
Bobby. I don't know, baby. Bobby. Hi, babe.
Ah,
Oh,
Bobby. Parang carry na
because he's
to.
childish.
Yeah, but he's so childish yun. After noon, lagi kami nag-aasaran. And it started with a fish, actually. Kasi ayaw niya kumain ng fish.
Uh-huh.
So sabi niya, I only eat my uncle's fish, blah, blah, blah. So, yun ang arte niya. So, we went to
Arte na
this
talaga
restaurant.
niya. Kahit dati
Yeah,
pa,
puro
no?
fish. Super. So, ayaw niyang
Mm-mm.
kumain. And then, okay, fine. So, yun, puro asaran. And we ended up in a pillow fight sa isang monastery.
Oh my gosh, pillow fight talaga. Mga
Ah,
kayo dalawa,
wow.
pababis.
parang bata, diba? As usual. Tapos yung friend yun na Buddhist, medyo nagalit. So, childish daw namin. Kasi,
Kayong dalawa. Kayo lang dalawa
monastery.
yung nag-pillow fight.
Kami
Okay.
Not
So,
lang.
everyone
pa-cute na
Siyempre,
else.
pillow
sa
fight
pansin siya.
yon.
Kami lang
Pa-cute
dalawa.
pillow fight. Oh my God. So, he
Can
was
you
also
imagine it,
looking
Jamie?
for I I I can because just so everybody knows as well, if you're listening in on this convo, Kat's husband and I have a very special sister brother relationship kasi childish talaga siya. So I can, yes, Alex,
Super.
imagine him and Kat in a pillow fight. Although I've
Yep.
never seen anything like that in person because I used to live with Kat in the same apartment. Actually, guys, we all used to live in one apartment during different
Yes.
times, but that's for a different podcast, maybe when we talk about
Yeah.
roommates and etc. What about you, Alex? So Sikat, 8 years with her partner. Am I allowed to say their names? Anyway, Guts, yeah.
Yeah,
And then
guts.
and then it started with them meeting in a trip in
Mhm.
Myanmar. What about you? You've been together for 13 years and if I remember
Yep.
correctly, married for 9 years. Wow.
Yep.
Right? Where did you meet? And I mean, it's weird that I'm asking you these questions because I know how it began, right, guys? But yes, tell everybody how you fell in love with your hubby.
Basically through common friends. So,
Mm-hmm.
well, it was someone else actually. Someone brought him up to me, and then I made cuento to my friend. And then that friend, based on my stories about him when I was describing him, suddenly goes, "Wait, I think I know him." And
Mm-hmm.
so, yeah, she confirmed it. And then, yeah, I was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, I know this guy." So I was like, "Okay, then introduce us." Um,
Uh-huh.
so, because I'm half
Oh, so
German,
you
and
asked for that. You asked for that. Like
yeah,
introduce us
it
naman.
was actually
Okay.
me. So
Oh.
Ooh la
he
la.
he
Kayo ha, si
he
Go
God
didn't
looking for a
girl.
boylet, ikaw din.
Go get it.
he didn't know
Introduce
anything
us.
about me. Yeah. So no, well, how it started was, yeah, I'm half German, and then the one who told me about him, said na he's German, so it's like, oh, might be a good idea to introduce the two of you. So yeah, started there. So I was like, I I got curious, so I was like, yeah, sure. Can you like set it up? So
Mm.
it took a while before it actually happened. Um, and we met at the gym,
Wow.
Ooh,
So
wow.
pretending,
wholesome.
Fitness
pretending
buddy.
to be into working out.
So you were pretending, but he wasn't.
Well, no, he goes regularly. Me naman, like
Okay.
once in a while. So yeah, I remember I was even on a bike, and I was thinking, what's taking him so long? And then suddenly, like, I saw a guy step in, and I was like, oh, I think that's him. And then suddenly I was like, parang all energetic, as in, ooh, biking.
Proud of my
I'm
friends.
sporty.
Yeah, I'm sporty.
And yun na yun. And probably that's where
And then
Cat's
yeah,
line
it
will come
started
in. The
there.
rest is history.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm so proud of you girls. You have your moves. I didn't know that ikaw pala yung nagpasimuno. You started it, Alex. You're like, I want to be introduced to that guy. You made it happen.
Yeah, I did.
Good job.
So we're talking about the term Afamista today. Kat is with a French guy, and Alex is with also a German guy, right? Alex, he's German. That's why you had that connection with him, and you were like, I want to be introduced to him. So before anything else, let's define that. Before we decipher if we are truly indeed the Afamistas, what is an Afamista for you, Kat? How would you define that term?
Well, basically, Afamista, a foreigner assigned in Manila. But
Ayun ba
Afamista,
yun?
yeah, Afamista,
Light
a
bulb
foreigner
moment.
assigned in
Talaga?
Manila.
Yep.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I didn't even know that. Look at
Yeah.
me. For real. So a foreigner assigned in
Assigned
Manila.
in
Manila,
Manila. Yeah.
Afam.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of Benjamin, can you hear him?
Nandiyan siya? What
Barking.
is he saying? Is
Yeah.
he asking you
He's
to go back?
listening. No, no,
Okay.
no, no.
Yeah, whatever. Guts. Okay. So a foreigner assigned in
Assigned
Manila. So
in
what
Manila.
is an Afamista? Someone who's into an Afam. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah.
about you, Alex? That's what can you add to that? What other underlying factors are involved in being called an Afamista in the Philippines? Because for
Well,
me, parang may stigma talaga siya at times.
yeah. Well, I guess it's really just, yeah, you dating someone who's foreign, someone who's
Mm-hmm.
not a local in your country. Um, well, because it says there, right? Assigned in Manila. Well, he wasn't assigned in Manila. Like, he's been living here basically since he was about 6 or 7 years old. So he's
Mm-hmm.
somewhat like a local na
Practically
rin, right?
like a
Yeah.
Yeah,
local. Mm-hmm.
he even speaks Tagalog. So I guess it doesn't necessarily mean someone who's assigned in Manila, just someone who's not a
Who's
local.
not a
Yeah,
Filipino.
Yeah.
yeah, who's not a
Okay.
Filipino. That,
Now,
for me, that's it. That's what it
mm-hmm.
means.
That makes sense. I don't know why for me, when I'm called that, it stings a little. And I can't, now that I think about it, I can't really determine the number of times I was called that. I just remember one time when I had to co host with another person in the Philippines, and it was a long trip, road trip to the venue. We were coming from Manila to Baguio, and I remember our conversation where he kind of assumed that I am into Afams when we were talking about our respective relationships. And he was like, Afam no, yung the guy I am with rather. And for me, that kind of felt like it was a bit judgy, I guess, because it's like, what is it about me that makes you think that I am into someone who isn't a local? And I guess that's why for some people it stings a little when you're called an
Yeah.
Afamista. So I want to understand, did you always like non-local guys? Did you date Filipinos in the past before Steph and before Guts? Let's start with you, Alex. Were you with any other guy before Steph? And if so, were there Filipinos that you dated in the past, or were they all uh, non-locals or afams?
No, I did, because I went to a local school, local private
Mm-hmm.
school, and you'd hardly find non-local students there. So yeah, I got together with Filipino guys, basically.
Spill the details. How many?
Uh
What's the number?
What's the number?
no,
We're talking about
that's
relationships
that's
here,
the
just to be
thing.
clear, so you can
That's
share
the
the number.
thing. Wait, can you give me some time?
It's okay. Yeah, we can give you time. Think
Oh,
about it.
madami-dami ah.
Hey, Steph.
Mm, yeah, you first, cat.
Okay.
Me
So
first.
Alex
Ah,
needs
sige,
time to think
bawal.
about it. What about
Okay.
you, Kat? How many did you
Me,
date
honestly, a Filipino, just
beforehand?
one.
Just one.
Just one. And the rest, Afam.
Afam na. So
Yeah, Afam
what
na.
is it about Afams that you prefer? And I'll share
Um,
my number as well. Don't
yeah.
worry, I'll share as soon as Alex shares her number. I'll share my number. But one
Mhm.
Filipino and the rest are Afam. So
Yeah.
What is it about them that you like?
I guess iba yung ugali, the
Mm,
characteristics. Kasi the
yeah.
Filipinos, they're very daming bawal, bawal to, bawal yan. And they're so clingy. Like,
Yeah.
you need to text them all the time, constantly. Kumain ka na ba? Nakauwi ka na ba? Yung mga
Oh my
ganon.
God,
And
Okay,
yeah.
I'm back.
di ka pwedeng pumunta dyan, ganun. No, I think
So
foreigners,
your Filipino boyfriend was like that.
yeah, I can't remember, it's such a long time ago and we were too young.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, with foreigners, they're more open minded, and you're free to do
Mm,
what you want. You live your own life. There's more
mm-hmm.
freedom, I guess. I'm not stereotyping, but in general, in my experience, ganun siya.
I
Mm-hmm.
agree.
I
Okay,
agree
so
as well. Are
I
you ready
wouldn't
to
say
share
I'm
your number?
yeah.
Has it been
No,
approved by
well,
your
okay.
hubby?
Here's the thing. So there were three, yeah, three local guys, but those were all in high school. So I don't know. It's like, would I consider? It's like, oh
Of
no, my
course.
mom
Yeah,
doesn't.
a long time
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
So
Puppy
so
love
yeah,
times
yeah.
three.
Just puppy love times three. College, no, I didn't. I didn't really have a boyfriend. I went out, but
Mm,
never really had a boyfriend then. Yeah, same thing. The feeling na parang you have to report.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, that was high school, and then you were reporting to someone. Na parang bang, oh,
Mm.
nasan ka? Who are you with? It's like, oh, what are you wearing? Yun yung
Oh, grabe naman
pinaka-nakakainis.
yon.
It's like, huh? You're wearing
Ay,
a whatever? It's like, no, change or something. I don't like
okay,
that.
dad.
Or, yeah, it's like, what? Are you an additional parent? It's like I
Yeah.
already have a set of parents. I don't need another one.
You know,
So,
that's my theory. For strong, independent women like you, my friends, and I'd like to define myself as that too. It's kind of hard to be with a man, regardless of the race, who is like that, who's clingy and who asks about, kumain ka na ba? Do you have a ride? It's okay, hon. I can grab, I can grab express, not express, but a grab car. I've been in the States for too long. But yeah, I got what you mean by that. I was with, just to clarify, it wasn't always white guys or non Filipinos for me. I was with three Filipinos in the past. And me naman, I was cheated on by those three Filipinos. So that's what in addition to what you girls mentioned, I also feel like because I'm not stereotyping, but because we Filipinos, it's part of our culture where we try to avoid confrontation. Some guys would rather have two girlfriends rather than be the one to break up with the girl. And that was my experience, aside from them being clingy, I suppose. So I kind of prefer the to the point guys, you independent and who will allow you to just be. And that's why
yeah,
now I prefer those kinds of men. So I definitely agree.
yeah.
You're married, no? Like, can you tell us about your early years in the relationship? Because maybe some women out there who are in the same situation are feeling that they need the source of inspiration as well. Na kaya palang mag-work. Let's start with what do you think are the pros of being in a biracial relationship, Kat? You're Filipina, you're with a
Yeah.
French guy, and they have a very specific culture. In
Yes.
the early years, you were you not here in the States. You were in the Philippines. He was
Yeah.
in France after that Myanmar trip and trip around Asia. So tell us about how that was being with him in the early years. What do you think are the
Mhm.
pros, especially during that time of being with Guts, your French hubby?
Yeah, so we were in a long distance relationship for before we got married for 6, 7 years. Like that, so it's a long
Mm-hmm.
time. It was hard and it was also easy at the same time because you get to live your own lives, you get to do what you do, no need to
Mm-hmm.
pwede ba akong pumunta sa ganyan? It's fun.
Uh,
And I can take a holiday whenever I want. So it's like that. And,
mm-hmm.
I get to spend my money how I want. You know, to spend for dates or whatever. So it was fun. So we got to see each other 2 to 3 times in a year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's difficult, of course. There's number one, there's a language barrier. He didn't speak very good English, but in time he learned and learned, and I also learned how to speak French a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's better. So yeah, it's not easy, but also it worked for us at the same time.
I know. 8 years, right?
Yes.
1 year being married. You made it happen because it isn't easy being in a long distance relationship, especially when you meet and you think it's just a boylet. Good
Yeah,
job
it's a lot of
for
work
guts.
actually, and it's a
Good
choice
job
that
for
you
both
make.
of you, right?
Yeah.
You said yes to each other every single day through those years you were apart. So you were saying the pros were you were able to live your own life and you spent your money on what you wanted to spend on. So we had time to be you.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, the challenge was it was difficult because you were apart and there was a language barrier. I was a witness to that. But
Mm-hmm.
kudos to you as well for learning the language. Now,
Google Translate.
Alex,
I did.
yeah, Alex, it's kind of a bit different for you because I feel like Steph is already a local. As you said, he moved to the Philippines when he was 6 or 7 years old, right?
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
So he even understands and speaks Tagalog. So yeah, so in terms of like language barriers, there's none. He
Mm-hmm.
understands all.
Lucky.
Yeah. Um. Well, so he's been living here since he was like 6, 7. So he basically knows the Filipino culture. He knows how it
Mm-hmm.
is, right? So he himself is also quite Filipino now.
I was gonna say.
Um, but n- but
It's
how
so
do I
hard because he's
explain that?
there.
No, 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 no.
Careful now.
He's not. He's not. I'm in the room. Um, how do I say it? He's not conservative like the
Ah,
ones that I dated before.
okay.
So
Okay.
it's very easy, no drama. Um,
Mm.
you wanna go out, you just say it. It's
Mm.
not yung magpapaalam ka. So it's
Mm.
really just,
Ganun pa
oh,
ba
I'm gonna
yung
be,
iba?
kasi may mga ganun pa rin
Yeah,
eh.
oo, maraming ganun.
Yeah. And I know that kasi like I have friends, like
Hirap
yung
naman nun.
isa,
My
one of them
gosh.
would get mad kapag yung isa alis ng alis. So I'm like,
What?
that's not for me. That's not
Uh-huh.
that's not us. So it's very
Yeah.
carefree, very relaxed. So yeah, even when we got married, I still treated it the same, you know. It was like it's really more like just a paper. The
Mm.
relationship is still like the same naman. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like easygoing.
I'm really sensing a theme. I feel that both of you are strong, independent women, and you love your independence, and that's why you are an Afamista. Hi, Pippa. For those, I know there's no video version of this podcast episode, so that Pippa is Alex's dog, adorable dog. She just said hello to us on video. In case you're wondering who Pippa is, it is not an Afam nor a third friend.
Turn off off.
Okay, so I know the pros now, which I agree with. I love actually to the point nga non, and then we can head on over to like the cons, but they are so independent and they let you live your lives to the point na sometimes medyo parang for me at least, pansinin mo naman ako.
Yeah.
Like, so there are days, right, na parang,
Mhm.
grabe naman to, hindi ka ba nagsiselos kahit konti
Yeah,
lang?
magselos ka
I know we
naman.
don't like it. We don't want to be asked who are you with or whatever, but sometimes we kind of crave it. Like, hello, do you care? So, what are the cons of being with an afam naman? We mentioned the pros, which I completely agree with. I love my independence. I love that I can do what I want and spend money on what I want. And I'm not asked about what I wear or where I go with you girls.
Yeah.
Lalo na, di ba? When we go out, we go out. And
Yep.
they trust us enough. So, what about the cons of being with an Afam? Cat, let's start with you.
Yeah, I'll repeat what you just said. Yun yun. Magselos ka naman. Di talaga sila seloso at all.
Mhm.
It's like, hello. Tanungin mo naman ako, nasan ka ba? Never. No. No, he's not really like
Uh-huh.
that because
Never talaga.
for yeah, Benjamin is like for him it's like he always tells me, live your life, do what you want,
Wow.
enjoy.
Love
He's
it.
like that. Yeah. I think it's just
Okay.
we trust each other. And yes, again, the language barrier and the cultural, your culture is different. There are some things that
Oh.
he might not understand about your culture, and same with the French culture. Like, I don't get it, why,
Mm.
blah, blah, blah. So there's always a fight, culture clash.
Oh. Until now, Kat. Because okay, wait,
Yeah,
how long
for the
have you
little
been living
things.
in France?
A year and a half. A year
Okay,
and a
I'll
half na
ask
lang.
about
Yeah.
that specifically then, because it's different when you're apart from each other and you're trying to understand the differences in culture. But what was it like when you finally made a move? If you're comfortable talking about it,
Yeah,
what was
yeah,
the
of
biggest
course.
adjustment? Because alam natin to girls, except for Alex siguro, kasi you're half German. He's kind of like 85% Filipino because he grew up here. But for us, Kat, we kind of know how it is to be from different cultures,
Yeah.
right? So it's very
Mhm.
different. What was it like when you finally lived with each other, when you left your life in the Philippines and moved to France to be with him?
Yeah. So again, we were in a long distance relationship. So this is the time where I really got to know him, because before of just a few weeks, okay, fine, and you're on always on a holiday mood, so very good mood. But now nakikita mo unti-unti, oh my God, sobrang mainitin ng ulo, yung mga ganon.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm super calm, and he's the exact
Mm.
opposite of me.
Yeah, you are calm.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and he needs to chill.
I've
And
never seen
yeah,
him throw a fit though, but yeah, I've heard you told me about that before.
he's very
So,
impatient.
uh, oo nga 'no,
And
napag-usapan nga natin 'yan dati.
yeah,
Kasi they're
and
used
no
to getting their
filter.
way. Oh,
Yes, exactly. And
really?
he's gonna say it as it is. He doesn't like sometimes
Mm.
too much. Like, no, you don't need to say that.
So how did you
And
adjust? Oh, meron pa. Oh,
uh,
sige. And ano pa? Sige, add to the list, Kat. Like, what
yeah,
was it
how,
that was
wait,
difficult?
how did I adjust? Just accept that there were different people. You're not marrying yourself.
Uh-huh.
You got married to a different person, so you have to adjust.
Mhm. And a different person
Yeah,
with a different culture and background as well.
exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, number
Okay.
one is I don't have friends here. It was very difficult. I don't have you girls.
Oh, I miss you. I miss you so much.
Me
Mm.
too. And I moved to a small town, which is harder to make friends, but it's fine, a quiet life. And yeah, basically the small things like cleanliness, you know, like you the standard of Filipino, different stuff, random stuff.
So we're cleaner? Kidding.
Yeah, I
No.
can
We're
Yeah?
say yeah.
we're more OC,
Yeah,
I
more
think.
OC. Yeah.
I can't
Parang
say that
dito
Yeah.
ata.
about me and my boyfriend because he's OC when it comes to cleaning. You girls have lived with me in the past, Kat, you know.
Yeah.
I need my creative mess. I'll term it as that. But James is more OC when it comes to cleanliness at home. So I can't say he's
Mhm.
British, so it's a bit different, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing that, Kat. I'm glad you guys have made it through that. I know it must have been a shock because you were living your life independently and then suddenly you lived in France away from us, your friends, and your life,
Yeah.
your job, and you guys are still powering through your marriage and relationship, and you're doing so well. Now,
It's a lot of work.
Alex, it's a lot of work, and you choose it every day, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
You choose it
We
every
have,
day.
yeah. It's a choice.
Mm. What about you, Lex? I know you're half German and he's par- partly Filipino in a way because he grew up
Well,
here. What are the challenging bits? Because you still said he's not really conservative like Filipinos
yeah,
are. So
no.
there are still differences. Were there challenging parts of your relationship during the
Um,
13 years?
well, I guess one of the I don't want to say that it's a problem, but one of the issues that we avoid is religion, because
True.
yeah, because my family is Catholic. I'm Catholic. Well, I'm not as religious as my mom, but I am. I mean, I go to church and everything,
Mm.
but he doesn't. He doesn't believe. So usually, when we do have like debates, it's
Mm.
about religion.
Mm-hmm.
So as much as possible, like we try to stay away from that topic. It's like just
Mm.
one of those things. Just like in if you're having a dinner with friends, right? Like the things that
Yeah.
you don't talk about, or like religion,
Mm.
politics, those things.
Yeah.
So with us, he knows my he knows my opinion. Like he knows how I see things.
Mm.
I know how he sees things. So like I respect him and he respects me. So
Mm.
we kind of just keep that to ourselves. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, uh, yun na nga, like when you go to Sunday Mass, I tend to go alone,
Mm.
which
Okay.
is, I find it, sometimes quite sad.
Sad sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because sometimes you just want
Mm.
to feel that, there's someone with you. So there's that. And then the other one is, you know how uh, Filipino families love gatherings, right?
Mm.
We have like our family reunions
Yes.
and stuff. Um,
Mm-mm.
well, he's not very keen on joining them, but I also
Mm.
understand why. It's because even though they already know that he speaks Tagalog, that you can actually speak to him in Tagalog, he understands what everyone is saying. It's like there's still that barrier. There's
Mm.
that, I don't know, yeah, invisible thing. Instead of asking him, they'd ask me, and he can hear it. So he finds that awkward.
Mm.
So it's like it's a little bit, yeah, awkward when it comes to like as in huge gatherings. With my family, totally normal. You know,
Mm.
from the beginning actually, like both
Your
families.
family's a bit small too, right? Because
Yeah,
you only have one
I
sibling
only
and
have, yeah, one sibling.
mhm.
So uh, yeah, from the very beginning, it was totally fine,
Mm.
all natural. But it's just when relatives are involved, that's when it's like you know kind of
Yeah.
get,
Awkward.
yeah, it gets a bit
Yeah.
awkward.
Kat, I
Yep.
know our listeners can't see you right now, but I can. And I've been seeing you nodding throughout that answer. So I know you can relate.
Yeah,
So
I can
do you
totally
agree with
relate.
that? Is it the same
Yep, because
for
that's
you?
me in France. When I arrived, I barely understood anyone. So
Oh.
I felt like Steph. So I felt such an outsider. But they're super nice. They really tried.
Mm-hmm.
So and he was quite tampo with me that why don't you come with me to meet my friends? So that it's not that I don't want to come with you, but it's just that I don't understand them. It's so boring
Oh,
for me and parang ang awkward lang.
yeah.
but yeah, tips again for yeah for someone who's in the same situation with me. Sama lang kayo, just go lang because in time you learn and learn and learn. That's how I learned French actually. Total immersion.
Mm,
You listen to them. You just go there, stay. Even if you don't understand them, in
yeah.
time you will. And now it's okay. I can speak
You
French.
can
It's fine.
understand them now. You can
Yeah,
speak
I can hang out with them
Yeah,
now.
fluently.
Yeah,
well,
That's
that's the
that's
that's
part.
great
super
you brought
good.
it up.
Yeah.
Yes, Lex.
Sorry, that's the part that's a little bit yeah, I find. No, it's not unfair, but it's like, so he understands German, Filipino, uh English, right?
Mm.
Ah,
I
yeah.
basically only understand Tagalog and English because I don't really
Yeah.
I know very little of German because yeah, I'm half, but I grew up here, like born and raised here. So I don't really know that language. So yun lang. It's like sometimes it's a little bit unfair. You're speaking in Tagalog, but he totally understands everything.
I know. That's why when you showed up in the video
And you're
earlier, I'm
like,
like, can she talk?
yeah, that's why. So I can't
Yeah.
hide anything. I can't go.
Yeah.
Alam mo ba?
Uh-huh.
Or when looking back,
Yeah.
Wala kang
that happened.
matatalo.
That happened. Like early days of our relationship. I was at the mall with him. And then we bumped into my cousin. And then my cousin, goes, "Hello, hi, San." And then she goes, "Uy, yung gwapo niya." And I'm like, nakakaintindi siya ng Tagalog.
Filipino yan.
Filipino yan.
So it's like, awkward.
Oh, but I love that you brought it up, Kat, because I felt that way. It brought me back to certain gatherings in the UK. It's English, but let's face it, sometimes some of their accents are hard to understand.
Yeah. Without.
So I felt like you did what you were describing so many times when we would go out with his friends, and I just feel like an outsider and I feel awkward, and I guess it makes them feel like, are we trying to be there as well? So it is kind of truly a con and a challenging situation because we do want to be there, but we kind of feel, I can speak for myself and I say I felt like I was dumb because I couldn't really catch
Yeah,
on to,
exactly. I felt so
and the
dumb.
references, right? The references, we're so used to being, I guess, smart enough to carry a conversation elsewhere, right?
Mhm,
Especially when it
mhm,
comes to Filipino culture and American culture. But when it comes to other cultures, it's kind of hard to catch up. We don't know the shows, we don't know their references. So again, that's really challenging. And
mhm.
Lex, I think, are you planning to learn? Because Kat, I witnessed that she studied French in the Philippines while she was
Yeah.
working on her papers. What about you? Are you planning to dig deep into your heritage and learn German soon?
She
I'd
did.
love to.
Oh, you
Yeah,
did?
I did. Just the first level, A1.
Oh.
Um I did it over my summer break,
Mm.
and that I wanted to continue, but then with work and everything, I just I don't think I could actually do both at the same time because
Mm.
it's
It's
demanding, diba,
hard.
Kat?
It's
It's like
hard.
it's 4 hours.
It's hard.
Like if you take the intensive course, it's 4 hours a day,
Mm-hmm.
5 days a week.
Truly
So
hard.
that's like from 5 until 9 p.m. And if you're coming from work, you're so drained. So I teach little children.
Mm.
You're so drained from looking after little
Don't want to
children, and
study
then
anymore.
Yeah. And
and
then you
then
have to
at 5
study.
o'clock, then you'll have to like switch it on and like participate, understand everything. It's like it's
Mm-hmm.
difficult. And the other thing is, like, I'm really happy for you, Kat. Like, you get to practice it now. You're there,
Yeah, you're there.
you're
Mhm.
immersed totally. Whereas with me, even if I continue, I don't have a lot of people that I can, s-
Him.
you know, yeah, I get conscious. I get, yeah,
Yeah, but
Oh.
it's normal
nahihiya
if it's
ako,
just the two of you
the
now.
pronunciation is still different. So I get so conscious about that. So
Yeah.
I feel like maybe the time that I actually pursue it, or yeah, continue it, is if we move to Europe.
Mm.
Don't know
Do
when
you
that
plan
will
to do
happen,
that?
or if that will happen.
Oh, okay.
Right now, no definite plans, no concrete plans. But
But can
if
happen.
if,
It can
if it
happen.
happens, yeah, if it does, then that's when, yeah, I'll probably take, what, a year. Is that enough, Kat?
Mm.
A year that
Mhm.
I'll just learn the
Study.
language. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
study. Yeah.
How do I learn British? As you said, Kat, I should just go out and listen and try to absorb it, especially in the northern part.
Yeah,
It can
heavy
get, the
accent.
accents can get thicker. I mean, I don't mean that as, it's just a fact, right?
Oh, no, no, no,
Especially,
it is.
yeah. And
Yeah,
it's hard.
I get that
You
since
get
I
it.
work with
British
Yeah,
people.
British.
yeah, teachers. So sometimes it's a little bit, yeah, sometimes it's hard to understand. So yeah.
Yeah. And they're very proper as well, so they don't really speak as loudly as we do. Not stereotyping, but most of the ones
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know. So I just feel like, can you say that again? But I also don't want to be rude, right? So I'll probably do what you did, Kat, and just push myself to go out the next time I'm there
Yeah.
and just
You have
keep
no choice but
listening.
just
Yeah, exactly. I used to train communication, right? And I used to say to my trainees, don't just laugh. When you don't understand, try to understand the context. And that's what I would do when I'm in that bar situation and I don't understand. I just laugh it off because what do you do? I don't really understand.
Yeah.
yeah. Pretend you
Okay.
understand. Ha, ha, ha.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
It's okay to be the idiot in the room, right? That's okay because you'll learn through it. Like you, Kat, you're so fluent in French now, and you're able to
Not too fluent yet.
socialize. Not
Yeah.
yet,
yeah.
not yet, but you can
Not too fluent.
socialize with them now. I
Yeah.
see the
Ça va,
videos
ça
and
va.
etc. What ça va again?
It's okay. It's fine. Fine.
Ça va.
All
Ça va.
Okay,
good.
All
all good.
good.
We've talked about what Afamista means, the pros, the cons, zooming in on your relationships. If you're comfortable sharing it, what do you argue most about? Or yeah, Alex, do you guys still, if you're comfortable sharing this, okay, like what do you argue the most about?
Hmm. How we do household chores. We're different.
Cat, Cat is
Yeah.
nodding with two thumbs up. Okay, girls, please
Yeah.
tell me more about this because I can't
No,
relate to this. Tell me more.
I prefer cleaning on my own without
Mm.
him here. Because sometimes I get conscious. Because I like to take my time. He's
Oh, okay.
very he's very quick. Like
Mm.
he uses his time wisely talaga. He wants to be efficient, you know.
Efficient. Efficient
Yeah.
German. I hate the stereotype.
But yeah, that's him. Whereas
Mm.
with me, like I really like to take my time. So
Mm.
I don't like cleaning in front of him.
Yeah.
So yeah, he doesn't see me cleaning, but I do.
Okay.
Whereas if he's cleaning, if I help him out, that's when sometimes we'd argue. Kasi yun na nga,
Oh.
I do things differently, he does things.
Meticulously, is
Yeah.
that what you're trying to say? Like, kasi mabagal ka maglinis, tas you're trying to tell him
Yeah.
how to clean, ganon.
No, no, he has his own system kasi.
Okay.
So that's why hindi
Doesn't
nagkakatugma.
match.
Yeah.
Oo.
Yeah, it doesn't match. So yun, or they're really petty things eh. For
Mm.
example, uh, glasses. I can use the same glass the whole day. I just rinse it.
Yeah.
Whereas
Oh, I'm the same. Yeah.
if he uses one glass, leaves it on a table, he'll end up getting another glass and then another one. And then, so, just
Oh, little
petty
things. Yeah.
Dami ng
little things.
huhugasan.
Nothing. Oh. So,
And
nothing
sino
more.
naguhugas?
We both do naman. Yeah.
Okay, okay. All
But
right. So,
I have more time. That's the thing. Like,
mm, mm,
I have more time than he does. So, yeah. But he cleans. He cleans.
okay. What about you, Kat? You were nodding and giving us two thumbs up. So, okay, let out the hugot. What do you mean by
yeah.
your nods and your two thumbs up?
Yeah, same when it comes to cleaning. Because I'm the one who usually does the cleaning. Okay, fine. Because we work together. Kasi so
Uh-huh.
he does more work than I do, but we work
Mm-hmm.
together. So sige na nga, kasi wala kang time, I'm gonna do it. But sometimes those little things. I'm the one who does the cleaning, most of the cleaning, not all, but just the little things. Can you like clean up
Mm-hmm.
after yourself? Is so annoying,
Because he's a
especially when
babby.
yeah, such a Bobby. When he doesn't sort the laundry, I hate that. Gusto ko makasort na. So it's easy for me. Like, yeah. And then
Yeah.
what else? For us, again, because there's the language barrier,
Mm.
sometimes he doesn't understand what I'm saying. Kahit lang anong try mas, it's like, forget it.
Mm.
Yun lang. You can't really, really share sometimes because, you can't really fully understand each other. So,
Mm.
yeah,
Okay. That's a
those
big
little
part,
things.
actually. the
Yeah.
language barrier. I am in awe of how you two make it work because communication is essential to making a relationship work. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing how you guys stay in love and stay happy. Kudos to both of you. Even if he's my frenemy cat, say hi to him later. Tell him to start the laundry.
The frenemy, exactly. He doesn't know how to do it. I know.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
Oh my gosh.
That's why you're there. And you know what,
What?
Kat? I have to say this as your friend. You knew he was a babby when you met him. So
Yeah.
that's what you get for going for that babby.
It was the
Exactly.
other way around for us. He's
You're the
more
babby.
he's more independent than I
Oh,
am.
yeah. Because
So,
you're the
you know,
baby of the family.
with the washing machine
Yeah.
here, I was the one who asked him how to use it. I was like, "How does this work?"
Ah, that's
So yeah,
Mm.
good.
like laundry, he does his own laundry.
Mm.
So yeah, he's very independent. Um, he's the one who likes cooking more. I don't.
Mm.
So that's the other
Okay.
thing pala. The other thing
Oh,
that like
Lucky.
I noticed with uh I mean I don't want to generalize, but at least like
yeah.
the ones that
Based
I
on
know,
experience.
yeah, based on experience and like what I've seen from, like friends, there's that parang stereotypical na say ikaw yung asawa, you're the wife, you cook, you
Yeah.
do
Kainis.
this, you take care of
Meron pa bang
this.
ganon talaga?
Meron pa
Ka-
rin. And
Grabe.
I like how our relationship doesn't have that. Na,
Yeah.
oh, you're the wife, you
Good
should be the
point.
one taking care of this. So it's
Mm.
more of like we know what needs to be done. Whoever has time does it. If one is not feeling well, then the other one takes over.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
really a give and take thing. It's equal.
Mm-mm.
Whereas
I
yeah,
love that. I love
others
that.
it's like buti na lang kasi I don't like cooking eh. So
Yeah.
what's gonna
I
happen na lang
know.
if
We
I
know.
ended up with
I know.
yeah, a Filipino then, 'di ba? Who expects me
Yeah.
to do that?
Actually, you make a good point, Lex, because when James and I started dating, I was like that as a girlfriend in the past. It's not like I want to be like a wife who would cook every day and etc. But I loved the idea of giving in that way, serving, like making food and etc. And he
Yes,
was
and you do that with
so
us. You
Yeah.
I
always
love
like you
hosting you
like
guys.
hosting. Yeah, exactly.
But I don't think I've ever shared it with you guys because it's petty, right? But in the beginning, James was so awkward with that with me. He'd be like, "No, you don't need to cook for me. No, you don't need to wash my dishes. No, you don't need to, etc.,
Mm.
etc." But for me, it was just a way of, I guess, like how I do with you girls when you're over.
That's your love
So
language.
yeah, one of my many love languages.
Dami.
Damn it. Pero I had to get used to that. And I guess I have now been trained not to be that way. So I'm exactly like you now, Alex. I mean, I like cooking, but I don't go out of my way
Yeah.
to do it for him unless he asks. I
It's
feel, meron yung mga ano, di ba? You
you don't
feel,
feel required to cook.
mm-mm.
You do it
Yeah,
when you feel it, when you want to, but
Mm.
it's not like
yeah.
like, oh no, I need to cook now. It's not like that.
No.
Diba?
And I never want to
Yeah,
be in a relationship like that where I have to
yeah.
do it. And I know when he wants me to do it. So there are cues, right? Pero tama ka, Lex. Like they don't want to have another mother in their life. And I think
Mm-hmm.
in relationships with
Yeah.
Filipinos, again, it's so difficult not to generalize, but it could be that way, right? Like they can be like dads in the sense na what are you wearing? Where are you going? Have you eaten? Do you have
Yeah.
a ride home?
Oh, I have another one. I just
It's
remembered now.
exhausting thinking about it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
to the guys who are listening, if you are going for an independent woman, that's really hard to deal with. I know that for all the guys who were interested in me in the past who would show that and say that to me, I would run to the other way as fast as I could. It's like I do not want that. I know you girls can feel and can relate to that too, right? It's so suffocating. And I
Mm.
guess that's why
Yeah.
we like afams or non-Filipinos who don't exhibit those traits and
Yeah.
characteristics. But does it bother you? I mean, I can't believe we're coming close to an hour now, girls, because it always feels
Oh
like it's
my.
just, I know, it's so much
Yeah.
fun drinking and talking with you from different countries. But it does it bother you? In the beginning, it did bother me, but I must be honest, after this conversation, there's really a common theme. And my theory really is if you're independent, probably that's why you prefer men who exhibit the same traits. And independence is not something that we have deeply ingrained in us in the Philippines. I mean, some people live with their families till they're 30, 40 years old. So it's quite different when you're with an independent guy who is non Filipino. And that's, I think, why I prefer being in this relationship. But does it bother you, girls, when you're called Afamistas, Alex? Described as
Well,
such. I know some people won't say it to your
that's the
face.
thing. Yeah, that's the thing. No one has ever said that to me. But oh wait, no,
I'm sure someone
someone
has.
actually has mentioned it, that I got my dream and everything, and then in a way I found it insulting. It's like, what are you trying to say? It's like, it wasn't like a dream. It just happened, you
Yeah.
know.
Grabe
So
naman yun. Yun na yung dream mo daw, Alex. What?
yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. Don't make it sound like that. You're making it sound like it's such a bad thing. For me,
Hmm.
yun na nga. It's like I don't see. I mean, I how do I explain it? Yeah, I guess if someone says that to me now, I'm just gonna say, so what? It's like, are you jealous? You
I
know,
love that. I
yun na
love that.
lang.
And I think that's why I really wanted to touch on this topic because, yeah, some people feel like it's like 30-day fiance kind of scenario where people are after their green cards and moving to a different country. But sometimes it's really, at least for us, it's really about
Yeah,
love and finding someone we
yeah.
prefer. And it's
You
not
know,
a dream, it just happened.
exactly. I mean, we are all working here. We earn our own
Hmm.
money, so it's
Yeah.
not like that.
Yeah. Kat, what about you? Does it bother you when you're called an Afamista?
Not
Or
really. I don't
not
care.
really? Yeah.
Yes, I am
I love it.
Afamista.
It's like,
I don't care.
so
I'm not gonna give
right.
power to
Like,
their words anyway. So
Uh-huh.
I know what I am, and there's nothing wrong when you're in a relationship with a foreigner. It's just the same with if you're in a relationship with a Filipino. So I
Exactly.
don't care.
exactly.
You call me an
I
Afam if
love the
you
spirit.
want.
Mhm. With that said, I want to thank you for exploring this topic with me, Alex and Kat. It truly has been fun hanging out with both of you and talking about our relationships. I don't care as well what people think. It is not a dream or a life goal to be with a non
Yeah.
Filipino. And that's what I guess I want to get across to people out there. It happens. People fall in love, whether it's a Filipino or a non Filipino. It's not
It
about
doesn't
a
matter. Yeah,
race. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
It's just
we don't
love. Love.
need Exactly. And we don't need to fall in love with somebody to have a better life. We already live our lives the way we want to, right? That's something that people should also understand. It's not a ticket to somewhere. It's just really
Mhm.
that we fell in love with non Filipinos. So, thank you again, Alex and Kat. Last words for our listeners out there. We are at 54 minutes here. So, we're going to wrap up our I'm an Afamista, so what episode. Alex, do you want to share anything for our listeners? Any other words for our listeners out there who are Afamistas as well? Go
be
ahead.
with whoever you want to be with. Doesn't
Love
matter
it.
what nationality. Just whoever you want.
Exactly. It's not about the nationality. What about you, Kat?
Yeah, it's the same. Gonna echo what Alex said. Just be whoever you want to be with, and it doesn't matter if someone calls you a famista. Yes, I'm an famista. So what?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why I love
talaga.
you, girls.
Is
So
it
what?
the end
Mhm.
of the world? Nothing. No, don't think so.
Exactly.
Do what you want
Be,
to do.
be you,
Be
do what you want to
yeah.
do, like who you want to like, love who you want to love. It's not about the race. It's not about the nationality. It's not a ticket to somewhere. And again, it isn't so bad. I mean, explore this big world and get to know people and be less
Exactly.
judgy. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
something that I wish for the Philippines sometimes. Like, I wish that individuals
Yeah.
aren't so judgy against others as well. So I hope you enjoyed our real conversation. To our listeners, I'm sorry there's no video, but we wanted this to be as organic as possible. So I want to keep my friends' lives as private as possible because they are private individuals. For those who know us, you'll know who they are, I guess, because they went by their real names. So again, thank you, Alex, and thank you, Kat, for joining me from France and the Philippines. I love you girls so much, and I cannot wait to see you again, whether it's virtually or in person. Thank you once again for joining Let's Talk.
Love you,
Thank
girls.
you. Love
Thank
Love
you.
you.
you. Bye. Take
Bye.
Bye.
care.
Take care.
To everybody listening, thank you again for joining us. And don't forget, next week there will be another episode. So please remember to tune in to Let's Talk Friday, 5 to 6 p.m. Bye, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. That was our deep dive convo on Let's Talk for this week. Till next week, don't forget, Let's Talk, Fridays, 5 to 6 p.m.